I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him. Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott, he's a coin respecter right now. He is. Jameis Winston, though.
I feel like he could go in the go-to category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in the MAC. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker's screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week. Episode 383 piece. As always, hold the fry. Joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by SeatGeek. If you guys are going to the games this weekend, you're going to watch Week 18, buy your tickets on SeatGeek. Cheap fees, WUIUX, very easy to use. I'm telling you guys, go check out SeatGeek and use promo code BOOKIT for $20 off your first purchase. Why would you not get a free beer or two, depending on where you live? Okay, go check out SeatGeeks. I know that's where Javon cops all his tickets. That's where he gets his Rays tickets. He gets his Bucks tickets, the whole shebang. All right, chat. As we get some sub bangs to start the day off, let's go, boys. JJ Mulally, sure, definitely mispronounced that. The big day incoming, 7-month sub bang. Love to see that, my man. We got Hovey resubbing. I'm spending my time in DC this weekend in a cardboard box on the street because Krabs won't answer my DMs telling me a good place to go watch football on Saturday. Hovey, hit me up again. I'll get you after BTL, brother. We don't need you living in a cardboard box in DC. You will get murdered. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving, folks. We've got a lot to recap today and a lot to go over. All right. So let's cut this shit and dive right in. Let's check out that squad ride W. Goods, throw that damn graphic up there. Sure. W Shelley coming on BTL yesterday. W chat, clicking the right buttons. W play on the Sabres. ML was never in doubt.
Never was.
Never in doubt. W's. Love to see that. Went 2 for 3 on the best bets there. Eastern Kentucky was free. Tulsa, absolutely free. Raging Cajuns, no sir. Javon, you cashed on the Penguins on the ML at plus chick. Love that play. It was never Michigan, who folded like a Dollar Tree lawn share down the stretch. And then you got that Stonehill under, which was disgusting. I don't even know how you came up with that one, but it was great. Great plays. We'll take that type of recap every single day of the week and twice on Sunday.
We will.
W's. Love it. A-team and B-team. Okay, here we go, guys. Go ahead and get the chirps going now. Get them out of your system. Devin Vassell, more than 3 points attempted. Javon, I salute you. 4-0 on PODs this year on squares. Knock on wood. Okay, always going to knock on wood there, not jinx yet. Oliver was free. And then Jose Perez dropped 26 points. Yep. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. Let's check out the B team real quick. No cashes last night for the boys, I don't believe. I think Wembanyama might have pushed. Caleb Love got hurt or something, or didn't end up playing at the very end of the game when they were blowing him out, so he didn't smack. And then Gabe, I think, did, but it didn't even matter. So not our best work yesterday. Good thing Shelly came on, though, and spoon-fed a 2-piece gulp because that smacked. All right, we got that one through the hoop. W Shelly challenge. I didn't follow the challenge unit guidelines here. I just went all in with a $200 piece on the power play, and it smacked. So W's Shelly, great fucking work. Appreciate you coming on yesterday. All right, Dubs. Let's go ahead and just cut the shit, Javon. I got a fucking bitch about Perez. Goods, run that shit. Jose Perez getting bumped down from 14 to 11.5. I fucking bet, Javon. I fucking bet. He even got pulled off the board. I was sending texts. I was sending tweets. I was letting people know. I was excited. Next thing you know, Jose Perez is having a fucking legacy day. You can't make it up. This guy has not shot more than 8 times in a game since Adam Miller returned to the lineup, Javon. It was a completely different rotation until last night when he turned into Steph Curry. It was unbelievable. He was wide open. He was banging his shots. The guy was unconscious last night. Absolutely unconscious. Okay. Like I said, guys, he has not taken more than 8 shots in a game since Adam Miller returned to the line. All right, 4 games until last night. Unbelievable. Javon, you want to take a guess at how many times he shot the ball in that game
How
last
many
night?
times did he shoot the ball?
16.
Jesus.
Double. More than double anything he's done in the last 4 games. Cannot make it up. Not making excuses. Terrible square. The kid was unbelievable. He was unguardable and he was unconscious. I just cannot believe the volume was there after it was gone for so long. Out of fucking nowhere. Crazy coincidence. Right, Javon? Or was it? Was it a crazy coincidence? Or did this motherfucker just see my tweet yesterday chirping him about his volume, chirping him about him stinking, and then he went off? Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. All right, Javon, let's run this fucking video, this clip of after the game of Jose Perez talking about his performance. I want you guys to hear this. Sound up.
It was only a matter of time. My teammates trust me. The man to my right told me keep shooting it. Since I've been turning it down all year, people have been putting their center on me. And I took it as a sign of disrespect. And I also see what everybody says on Twitter and stuff. So I took that into criticism.
I bet he checked Twitter. And I bet he saw the criticism. And I went through chat last night for about an hour and tried to find any sort of Jose chirps. They didn't exist, except for one, and it was mine. There's no way that Jose did not see my tweet. No way, Jose. All right? He absolutely went off because he saw my tweet talking about him not getting volume. He probably literally showed that tweet to his boys before the game in the locker room and said, yeah, I need to get mine because this Krabs dude is chirping me for no fucking reason. I guarantee he saw that tweet. Why else would he bring this up in the postgame?
Yeah.
And there's not a single other tweet from yesterday talking about Jose Perez because he's irrelevant until last night when he dropped a 26 piece and cost me thousands. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Maybe I should hold off on the tweets because this kid literally saw mine and went off because of it. It cost me coins.
Unreal.
I don't blame him. I tip my cap. Honestly, Jose Perez, respect. You gain respect from me. You gained a fan because that is unbelievable. And if I were you, I would have tried to do the same fucking thing. Respect. We move and we groove. God damn it, Javon. Unbelievable.
It's actually
unbelievable.
Crazy.
Actually crazy. Yeah. All right. Enough of that shit. Enough of that cake. All right. Let's dive in. Before we do the Week 18 NFL preview here, I want to run a stream this weekend. Javon, would love you to come. Doors always open, as you know, but would love to run some sort of stream here, sweating out NFL, college basketball, maybe even playing some Duke guy. All right. Chat, go to my Twitter, vote for which day you'd rather do the stream. It's pretty close right now, neck and neck. Dudes, can we get a vote to see what it's at right now? If that's possible on the screen. Sure. Okay, Saturday's winning right now. Whatever you guys want to do, let me know. Go vote on this poll on my tweet, and we move. And it looks like Padawat just gave Jose Perez a sub. Nice. I really hope that's not the real Jose Perez. And that is an unbelievable chirp from Padawat. Just got to tip the cap once again. That's how you chirp someone, folks. That's how it's done. Okay. Unbelievable. Dudes, let's run that Week 18 NFL preview. We've got an odds on the state sub bang. Let's fucking go, my man. Love to see it. We've got an stay sub bang. 3 months. Let's go, boys. Getting the BTL Friday started off right. We got a hype train cooking. Love to see it. Let's find you guys some winners for this NFL Week 18. Guys, we've been absolutely crushing it for the second half of the season, almost every week, finding you guys winners in this segment. You can always go back and rewatch this on Twitch and YouTube this weekend when you're locking in your bets, trying to vibe and find winners, going over what we like. Okay, it's been profitable over the last couple months. If you've been doing that, let's run it back one more week here in the regular season, Javon, and let's get the snooze fests over with here. 2 unders that we like. I'm going Buffalo and Miami under. One of the nastier unders on the boards. The over's getting pelted with bets. Not seeing much movement here yet. Great sign for the under there. And I think the Bills win this game with their defense. A lot of pressure on both sides here in this game. Sunday Night Football, prime time. Everybody's going to be watching. A lot's going to come on. A lot's on the line in this game. And that's a game I want an under it. Okay, not saying Josh Allen's not going to get his. I don't mind his more than 1.5 passing touchdown square because it looks a little weird on PrizePicks. But that doesn't mean this game's going over because that's a lot of points to work with. So give me the under in a primetime nervous game between 2 teams who have a lot to lose in this contest. I like the Bills to win this game. We'll talk about that soon as well. But I don't see this game going over 40 points. I think it's going to be a surprising defensive masterclass from the Bills here.
Yeah, I can see that, especially with how injured the Dolphins are, which is another problem that's tough to see. I went with this Browns-Bengals under 37.5, which Browns are resting guys. You're getting Jeff Driscoll, which I guess the only thing that concerns me a little bit about taking this under is that it could be the Jeff Driscoll revenge start because he is a former Bengal that's coming for the start for the Browns this week. But with how bad the Bengals' run defense has been and the obvious situation that the Browns are in, it just feels like a game where they're going to run the ball and try to just not have anything crazy happen in this game, especially don't want to get hurt before the playoffs start, even with guys that are just backups or depth guys. So I feel like it's going to be a pretty slow game. Obviously, the whole Browns defense is not going to be playing, or all the starters are not going to be playing because you can't rely on their defense nearly as much in this game. But same story with the Bengals. I just don't think they have the juice right now, especially now that this is a game that means jack shit. So I just think it's going to be a pretty ugly game. I know weather in the northeast-ish area is not great this weekend, so it's not me buying into that necessarily. But I think both these defenses are just going to be good, and the offenses are not really going to have much of an in-depth game plan other than run the ball and chew clock.
I'm with you. I like that. That total's down a ton from when it opens, as it should, with all the backups getting named. What's the motivation for these offenses to score or do anything in this contest? And even with the twos in there, I still trust these defenses to outperform the offenses with the backup QBs. So I'm with you. Total's on the move, on the way down, as it should be. It's low as heck for a reason. 2 unders here, chat. Take a screenshot. We move. Let's talk about 2 more exciting games, 2 more exciting bets that we've got for this weekend. I got the over in Houston and Indianapolis, over 47.5 in this contest. That total is also up from 42.5 at that opener. The splits look good. I want to back CJ Stroud in Houston to put up some points, and we've seen Gardner Minshew and the Colts do a pretty good job as well offensively over the last couple of weeks. We know they're mistake-prone, turnover-prone, interception-prone. That's not a problem for an over a lot of the times because it could put Houston in good field position here. And I want to back this Houston offense, looking at that Stroud square after he hasn't really done much the last couple of weeks. I think he wants to solidify that rookie offensive player of the year awards. And I think he's going to do it against the Colts and that Musha defense on Saturday night in this contest. Saturday night game. There's a reason this game is on prime time. There's some implications here as well. I think we get points in this game. I think these defenses are terrible, overrated, and I think they're going to get absolutely exposed. Looking at some of the anytime touchdown score odds, looking at some of the prize pick squares in this game, it's telling me we're getting some points.
Yeah, I'll be taking a lot of props in this game, and I don't know what this guy is smoking, but yes, the Colts do absolutely have a Musha defense.
Yeah, and
terrible. all of the numbers would tell you they're one of the worst in the NFL. It's not really changed. It's why their overs are automatic in their games, or have been so far this season. I'm going with Falcons Saints over 42, which this game gives me Falcons Bucks game 2 vibes, where we had like a fluky game in Tampa the first time where they didn't score many points. They had a bunch of turnovers in the red zone. And that total opened up really high the next game and kept kind of moving that way. This one has kind of moved the other way. It's moved down a little bit, I believe, but I think the opening number is very, very high. So the first game was 24-15 for those who remember, which included a pick 6 by Derek Carr, a missed field goal by the Saints, a couple turnovers on downs from Desmond Ridder in that offense. So, like, in all reality, not a game that really generated all that much offense if you look at it deeper. So now you see a higher total in a second divisional game, which is interesting. And you don't really know who's going to be a quarterback for the Falcons here, whether it's going to be Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke, because Taylor Heineke has been limited at practice all week, I think, including up to today. So I really don't know who it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be Heineke, but there are Ridder props and, I don't know, rumors propping up everywhere. So I don't really know yet. But I don't think it matters because for the Falcons, this seems like a game where you just get the Arthur Smith throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks type game. Like, I think they're going to use a lot of different looks in this game, just a lot of fun play calls. If those people remember the Vikings game where they're doing double passes, they're throwing shots down the field, which that was with Heineke. So maybe that plays a little bit more into his hands if he ends up playing. I think the game plan is going to be similar against the Saints because realistically, the Falcons don't match up very well with what the Saints want to do on defense because the Saints are a funnel across the middle of the field team, which with Desmond Ridder, maybe they're a little better at, but with everybody else, they want to do a lot of Drake London. They obviously want to run the ball. So They have Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith, who would be real assets in this game. So when they do that, or have teams that make them do that, they unlock a lot of different play calls, and that's when Arthur Smith is at his best, which you can't say very often. So I think this is just going to be a game with a lot of crazy point swings, turnovers, explosive plays, whatever. Rarity in like a second divisional game.
A rare over between the Falcons and the Saints. I could get behind it, especially if Heineke is under center. Okay, I'm in. And I think he is going to play. I did a little bit of research this morning, and I'm seeing his squares up on PrizePicks too. So got in my head, I think it's going to be Heineke, but
yeah. Well, I've seen a little bit of Ritter murmurs, and then like Heineke has squares up on PrizePicks, but so does Ritter, which is making me concerned. It's like if you look, Ritter has a Russian receiving touchdown square up, which is weird.
He does.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they're that's like what they do with the odds touchdown score wise, like on the books, if they're just putting it up just in case. But I don't know what the deal is. But regardless, I'm in either way.
Either QB, sure. Rumors are swirling that you have a John Michie first career touchdown this weekend. Is that true?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
We can talk about that a little bit in the next segment, but chat was tweaking about it. They want it. They need it. And I could be down to tell that too. What a great story. Okay. Dubs, let's move on to the blowouts of the weekends. Two favorites we see winning with no problems. Okay, I got the Bills. I was shocked to see the Bills opening up as a favorite in this game, and they have moved up to -2.5. Most places, some places I'm even seeing some threes floating around. That's a great sign for the Bills on the road to continue their legacy comeback tour here and solidify a spot in the playoffs with a big-time win on the road against a Dolphins team that continues to get hurt. It really has an uphill battle here going into the playoffs. They've been losing a star, it feels like, every single game. It's going to be tough for Miami here, and I think the Buffalo Bills opening up as a favorite in this game is enough for me to already want to bet them. And seeing the steam get moved up on the Bills there is a great sign. The PrizePicks squares are telling me Josh Allen's going to have a heck of a day. We'll talk about that here in a moment, but I like his more than 1.5 passing touchdowns and another square as well. But it's got to be the Bills winning big and finishing their little legacy comeback tour to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I kind of agree there. I don't really want to touch the Dolphins this week. I'm going with the Texans, laying the ML. I think it'll be a close game for a little bit to win it in game. So not that I think they're going to be super conservative, because that's not really how they play and not how the Colts defense is going to make them play. But I think it's going to be a tight game for a while. But I like the Texans, who got the dog to fave move, which you wouldn't say is surprising because nobody really likes the Colts or thinks they're legit really at this point in the season, even in week 18. But with the injury report that the Texans have, seeing that dog to fave move is interesting, which that is part of a reason why I'm on John Mechie, because we have Noah Brown, no Jonathan Grenard, Robert Woods is banged up, Will Anderson's banged up, some of the offensive line and defensive line is banged up. So like they're a team that's struggling to get to the finish line here. They've still eked out wins and looked good. Obviously the CJ Stroud situations mess with that a little bit, but to see that move on the road to against a Colts team who they've been pretty good at home, and that's where we've seen the points flow really on their side too. I was shocked to see this a little bit. So I kind of sticking with the script that I think the Texans win the division this week with a win and a Jags loss in Tennessee. So it starts here, Saturday night.
So will you be sprinkling on them to win the division at +450 like we talked about the other day?
I probably should.
We probably should.
Yeah. We
probably should. Yes. And if you want me to get that bet in for you, because I know you're down in big Texas, let me know.
I don't know if that's an option for me. I'll have to make some moves.
Have your people reach out to my people. We'll get it done. All right, chat. Houston to win the division. Some serious value. Some plus chick if you're looking for it. So if you like Houston this weekend, you might as well sprinkle a little bit on that future. All right, Dubs, Buffalo, and Houston. Big-time favorite, big-time blowouts. All right, chat. Let's talk about some dogs. Who let the dogs out? I did. And it's the Panthers, +4.5. Nasty's bet on the board. Have to bet it. The Jags are back, right? After a 26-0 win last week, they're back. Everything's okay. Their team is good, right? No. Their team is not good. Trevor Lawrence looks terrible, and the Panthers have a chance.
I think you're on your meat on table already.
Fuck, hold on. It's the Bucks. Okay,
Yeah.
Panthers +4.5 against the Bucks. That's my fault, chat. Either way, though, the Panthers are covering this freaking game against your Bucks. Put your earmuffs on. Who looked like crud last week. They should have gotten shut out last week. I can feel it, Javon. Your team is folding like a Dollar Tree lawn chair right now, and they have a tricky spot on the road here, traveling to a Carolina Panthers team who has a lot of players looking to leave a good last memory for the season, trying to earn a starting spot for next season. Cough, cough, Bryce Young, who's looked fucking terrible all year. He's got to leave his stamp on the season with a big-time game, and I like the Panthers getting a couple points against the Bucs. No way the Bucs lose 2 in a row and miss the playoffs after being one of the better teams in the second half of the season with Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans absolutely going off, right? And they might win. They might sneak out a nice little game-winning field goal, Javon, but it's not going to be a touchdown win. It's going to be sweaty, and it's going to be the Panthers covering this one and ending the season on a decent note. Betting these moose shit teams in the last week of the season who have nothing really to play for besides, earning a starting role for next year or proving that they deserve to be drafted number 1 overall like Bryce Young is profitable in the NFL, unfortunately. And the Bucs just look too easy, man. They look too easy. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I would not going to say anything about that game because I don't know what to think. Bucs are much better on the road for whatever reason, and they're coming off a shit game. So who knows what you're going to get from them. But I'm definitely going with another home dog in the Panthers or in the Titans. You got me messing up my words here too. Up against the Jags, which people forget. Mike Vrabel still coaches this team. I know they've been disappointing, which a lot of that's been because have a rotating quarterback situation. They've had a lot of injuries on defense all season, so it hasn't helped anything. But this could be a little revenge from exactly what happened last year with a pretty weird quarterback situation in that game too, where they came in last game and stole the division when the Titans had a chance to take it there. And I think this is going to be a Vrabel masterclass. This Jags team has not only been super inconsistent, which, again, a lot of that's had to do with Trevor Lawrence and his injuries, but they're kind of on the same path as the Saints were, like defensively. They've been getting their defense exposed kind of throughout the season. These teams that play a lot of press man that aren't really good at it are starting to get exposed, and that's the Saints, that's them, that's a couple other teams. So I think this is a pretty good matchup for a couple of the Titans guys in the wide receiver group. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is the guy that's on everybody's card today because everybody wants to bet on incentives like the books don't know that. But a couple of guys I think have pretty good matchups, and we're going to see who knows who we're going to see a quarterback. But I think the Jags defense is kind of at its wits' end here. So I trust their defense to get after it themselves in that front seven and make life pretty tough for Trevor Lawrence. And when you do that, things become pretty easy against the Jags. So I think this is a pretty close game. Maybe I still think the Titans went outright, but worst case scenario, I could see this playing out like the Seahawks game did, where they came out with a field goal late and it was close all throughout.
I'm so in. And I'll talk about a little bit more, put a bow on it, and wrap it up when we do the meat on tape place. There's a little hint for you, chat. We'll get to it. These are 2 winners, though. Take a screenshot of them, all right? Write them down in your note sheet because they're smacking. Don't forget about these 2 nasty dogs this weekend, chat. Let's move on to some PrizePicks squares. Sure. We've been doing well with these, especially you, Javon. So let's stay hot. I've got 2 less than squares that I like. Raheem Mostert, less than half a touchdown. I thought it was weird to see his odds behind A-Chain at this point when he's been a touchdown demon. If you just look at his history, look at his square on PrizePicks, it'll probably tell you why I'm on this less than. And I also like the under in this game and the Bills. A lot of correlations here why I don't like Raheem Mostert to score a touchdown and find pay dirt this weekend. He's been just absolutely unbelievable finding the end zone ATTS this season. Look at that chart. Sure. I'm sure he'll go ahead and add on to that this weekend. That's why PrizePicks is putting that square up to give you guys free money, right?
Lord.
Come on. All right. Fading Mostert. If you don't want to back Mostert less than, or if you don't think that's fun, you can go ahead and take A-Chain to score a touchdown because I like that too. All right. And then let's move on to Josh Allen. He ain't throwing a pick this weekend. I do like his more than 1.5 touchdown passes, but I like his less than pick better. Javon, we know he's a pick machine. You see it every single primetime game. You see the stupid graphic with his fucking NFL and pick since he's joined the NFL. You're going to see it again this weekend, and then you're not going to see him throw a pick because he's minus 120 to the under on the books, which I cannot make sense. And the Dolphins are not really a pick machine type defense. Xavier Howard has really taken a step back. Feel bad. He was one of those in the NFL just a couple of years ago. This defense, nothing special really in my opinion at this point. A couple injuries as well. I think Josh Allen protects the football and ends the season on a high note and does not throw a pick and has a great game to lead the Bills to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw it all, but while we were on Sweats last night, Trent locked in this random 2-guyser slip with, I think, one like NHL third period play because that's what we were crafting, and he notes a play that hit with Josh Allen to throw a pick.
Ooh, okay. All right. We're in business, folks. We're in business.
There you
Josh
go.
Allen less than a pick and Mostert less than a tutty. Devon, what do you got?
I'll start on the end because I'm going with Rashad White over his rush yards, which very rarely do I want to just limit it to rush yards because Rashad White is literally Megatron. He has to be with the way the Bucs play. But Baker Mayfield is banged up. He took about 4 late hits, pretty dirty hits from the Saints all in that game where they're getting beat up and blown up, and he's struggling to get to the finish line. Let's say that. He's been banged up for a couple weeks, and that last game didn't help. So now they're coming into a game where they have to win. The Todd Bowles special is being very overly conservative, especially when you're on the road opening these games. So this is a game where I think we're going to see Rashad White get 25 touches, 20 rushes. He has a rush attempts square. It's up for 18.5. I think he's going to get that. And against this Panthers team, I think if he gets 20 carries, that's 3.5 yards a carry that he would have to get to go over this number or something like that. So I think he does, especially when Panthers run defense has been pretty terrible the entire season. We saw how run heavy the Bucs were in Tampa the first time they had to face them. And now you can only guess there's going to be even more of a conservative game script with a playoff berth on the line with a win. So I think he's going to get fed this entire game, especially if Baker isn't feeling it early in this game, not just because he's hurt, but that's also a really good secondary that matches up pretty well with the Bucs wide receivers and really just anybody in general. That's a pretty underrated unit in the NFL and especially in that division. So I think this is going to be a game that the Bucs, if they're going to win and want to win, they're going to have to grind it out on the ground, which it's not the toughest challenge against the Panthers defense, which is why they're as bad as they are. So I think it's a Rashad Grubfest this weekend. Then I took this one too, Jonnu Smith, which for this one I would love Heineke plays, but like I said, the Saints are a funnel into the middle of the field, which for Jonnu Smith is not necessarily a bad thing. But Goots, I don't know if you can pull up Jonnu Smith squares because it took them. It kind of caught my eye in the first place because they're a little interesting to be up in the first place. I always catch a little second look at something when they put up somebody after a goose egg, and it's not just that he didn't catch a pass last weekend and he's got receiving yards up, but he also has a reception square up at 2.5 too, which is super interesting coming off of a goose egg against the Bears, who really good run defense. I guess you could say they're built pretty similarly to the Saints, minus the funnel in the middle of the field, but another team that's pretty bad against tight ends, and the Saints have been the same. They've been letting tight ends grub against them the entire season, and that's where the infamous 9 for 140 game came for Sam Laporta, his best game of the season. So like I said, I think this is the Arthur Smith just generate a lot of explosive plays games, and we saw that in the game against Carolina with Jonnu Smith a little bit. We saw that in the game with the Vikings where Taylor Heineke was starting in Atlanta too. I think Jonnu Smith's catching a bomb in this game. So that's kind of what I'm banking on, but I think he has a really good game for a majority of it too. So give me Jonnu Smith this weekend.
Okay. Let's hope he'll be Taylor Heineke's safety net out there. He likes feeding his tight ends. For sure.
He does. And we have Pitts too, but I think Pitts is more in this game the end zone target, the red zone target.
Okay, sure. I have a PrizePicks square. I think I could interest you guys in. That's a great message. Love hearing that. Look at my guy Raw doing some research out here. Go check out Keegan Murray threes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Grabs
I checked it out and I'm in. I'm looking at it right now. I'm in. Keegan Murray more than 2.5 3 points made. Raw 5 coming in hot with that square. Lock that puppy in for me tonight.
Beautiful.
And maybe we'll show that for chat too if we can. I know Goots is absolutely sweating in the back end getting that square up right now.
Yeah,
he's grinding.
Sweating.
Take a peep at that chart when you.
There's so many goddamn Murrays.
It's all the way at the bottom. I think there's a bazillion Murrays.
There it is.
There she blows.
There
sure. Yeah.
There we go.
There it goes. See Keegan Murray turning into Steph Curry tonight. I bet. You pair that with Javon's POD square and go about your day.
That's what we have to do.
All right. We got Don't Fade 86 giving out a subby. Let's fucking go, Don't Fade 86. Really appreciate that. Giving Buckeyes season a subby. He probably needs that one. He needs something good going on in his life as a Buckeyes fan. Actually, they did just get Will Howard. That's also
they get Will Howard.
That's a W.
I don't know why.
He's going to be really good for them.
He's good, but I don't know why people are acting like he's Caleb Williams.
Yeah, he'll be a top 10 QB in college football next year, but he's not Caleb Williams. He's not number 1.
Top 5 is crazy.
Top 10.
Top 10 is probably crazy.
Top 10.
I don't know. People forget that he was a backup. And there's a reason why a quarterback who's Taysom Hill beat him out for his spot and why he's going to Ohio State.
Okay. All
I mean,
right.
he's definitely better than Kyle McCord. Huge step up for them, but you got to relax.
Slow the roll.
Yeah.
Well, it should help when you plug them into that offense. And, I think they have that 5-star wide receiver coming in next year, the best receiver in his class. So We'll see a little bit of an upgrade for that offense too. Maybe he'll level up his play as well. I'm a believer in Will Howard. I'm with the squares on this one. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Dubs. Yeah. Javon, what is your POD square? Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart over 1.5 threes, or more than 1.5 threes. Yeah.
Let's go.
Beauties.
Come on. Pair that one with Keegan Murray threes, chat. Little two-piece hold the fry. All right. Dubs. Let's keep on moving, Javon. We've got some meat on tape plays for the people. And then we're going to go over briefly these NFL Week 18 incentives, see if anything's even worth our time. And then we'll dive into some ATTS scores and then go over the Friday college basketball slate, which is not that fat, unfortunately. I was hoping there were more games today, but there's not. We will make do, that chat, and find you guys some winners. Don't you worry, okay? Meat on tape plays. Sure, here's the Titans pitch I was waiting for. I was just so excited about my favorite play of the weekend that I couldn't fucking wait, Javon. The Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel. I want to bet my money on that coach in a meaningless game because he's Mike Vrabel, and we've seen this movie before. The Titans win games they shouldn't, and they're going to win another game they shouldn't and fuck their draft stock up a little bit more once again this season when they face the Jaguars, who are coming off a 26-0 win when everyone's saying they're back. Right, Javon? Oh, everything's okay now. It's all just dandy and sunshine and rainbows, and we're going to forget about the horrid month and a half the Jaguars just had and had one good game afterwards, and everything's fixed. It's like you throw a Band-Aid on and everything's good. It's not good, okay? And this is Derrick Henry's last fucking game as a Titan, and you don't think he's going to leave his mark? Come on. Give me a break. It's going to be Derrick Henry feast season, and the Titans are going to run the ball down the Jags' throats and maybe even get an outright win here for no reason because that's what Mike Vrabel does in Week 18s. That's probably why Titans fans fucking hate him because, like me, they want to see their team losing at a better draft pick. So give me the Titans. I don't care who's playing QB. I don't care who's even out there on the fields. Give me them in a nastily short spot as a short home dog in a game that has no reason for them to play in against the Jags who have their backs against the wall.
There we go. You know I'm in, and I won't resell my meat on table because it's a rehash of my over, but they're scoring more than 42 points in New Orleans. You struggled. You had defensive touchdowns. You had turnovers on downs. You had a lot of fluky plays to only get to 39 in their first meeting. It's not going to be the same thing. Whether it's Ritter or Heineke for Atlanta, sit back and watch some explosive plays, get a lot of Bijan, a lot of the tight end tandem between Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith, and it's going to be madness this game. This game feels like it's going to be one of those games that's super weird from kickoff to really finish where you never really know what's going on for a lot of the game, but the one thing you do know, there's going to be points. So sit back and watch it. It's going to be weird. It's going to be one of the stranger games, I think, of the weekend and potentially a play-in game for one of these two teams, which I'm hoping not. Hoping the Bucs win, but could mean something a little more.
All right. W's. Two great plays that we've already talked about a little bit, chat, but don't forget about these ones. Do not let them get swept under the rug. All right. We've got our local sharp in chat, Javon, asking about the Packers while we transition to this NFL Week 18 player incentives talk. Javon, any opinions on the Packers this weekend?
I don't mind the Packers. A lot of people like the Bears, which I wasn't expecting because, I know the Bears, they're a fan favorite or public favorite now because they've been playing really well since Fields has been back. And, the Packers are on a ridiculous run right now where Jordan Love's looked amazing for a couple of games. So I wasn't really expecting there to be a super public side in this one, or at least for what you see on Twitter. But it seems to be I've seen a lot of Bears, which is surprising. So I don't really know that I want to go with the Bears this weekend. I will say if the Bears – I don't want to say if they had a shot in this game because they do, but I would feel more comfortable about the Bears if I didn't see that 45 total because they would have to win this game in theory because of their defense, which if you think that they're going to win this game, you probably got to say Jordan Love's got to be shut down a little bit. If the total was sitting at 43, maybe I'd feel a little different, but sitting at 45, that's screaming that you're not really stopping Jordan Love. You're just going to hope to keep up with him or score with him. And not that the Bears offense with Fields can't do that, but it's definitely not making me feel good about the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. And they are very public already. You don't see extremely public dogs this early in the week, but you are right now for this Bears team getting 52% of bets, 68% of the handle on the green book. That is a lot of bets and a lot of handle for an underdog on the road against the Red Hot Packers. Interesting. And definitely seen a lot of Bears talk on my Twitter feed as well. So I think I'm with Chats. I think I'm with you too, Javon. Maybe we square up and take the Packers, or at least lean that way when everybody's
Definitely
trying to get cute with the Bears. Yep.
Taking the commies plus 13 too.
No, I will not be. No, I will not be. Would love to get some odds on Sam Howell not to throw an interception now. He has 19 picks this season. He's not going to get to 20. He's going to do everything in his power to not get to 20. Big difference there. He wants to earn a starting spot for next season still. He gets to start this weekend against a Cowboys team playing for nothing. We saw what Sam Howell did literally a year ago from now in the last game of the season last year when he had a legacy performance against this Cowboys team that had nothing to play for because they already clinched. We could see it again, but I'm at least willing to bet him not to throw a pick and not to get to 20 picks on the season. They have a demon square up on PrizePicks for his more than 1.5 picks. They don't have his just normal interception up, that which stinks. But I'll tell you right now, if you're looking for a cheeky prop that's definitely at plus money, that could be the one.
I feel like this is going to be like a Jameis. Remember he walked off his 30-30 season with a pick six in the last game of the season?
Yeah. Maybe
just
it
feels like just feels like it's a Sam Howell poetic. Even if he has like a good game for a majority of it, just a pick to send him off into the sunset for the year.
Yeah. POD how to get benched plus 5,000. Well, if they announce another QB to play, he's probably just going to get hurt in practice. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. And yeah, they're already looking forward to next season. This Commanders team is. So if you're putting your money on them this weekend, I wish you the best of luck. And you got bigger stones than me. I can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. Do we have eyes on a Sam Howell pick? I'm looking right now.
No, they don't have it listed.
I don't see it on the green book. They only have Dak up.
Yeah,
that's okay, bro.
Yeah,
that's okay. Probably because he'd be plus 7 million to go less than half.
He doesn't have anything up, so I assume it's because they're waiting on a sure decision on who's starting. Maybe I don't know.
It's weird because they announced yesterday that it is him as a starter, but maybe there's some other shit going on. Who knows?
Maybe there's like
who knows with that team, man? Who knows? It could be Ron Rivera with the fucking helmet on, going out there under center. I wouldn't even be shocked at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. Let's talk about some Week 18 player incentives, Javon. Let's talk about how useless and meaningless they are and how people should not be betting on these because the books are not stupid and they've already, changed the lines accordingly so that you can't just print on betting these incentives. But, Javon, maybe there's one in here that you're not absolutely against. Is there?
So there's two, maybe.
Couple?
It's just like the popular one is DeAndre Hopkins this week, which like I guess you can say like the receptions is smart because like I assume his yards line is going to be higher than 49, so it's irrelevant anyway. But you're saying you're going to feed him. Like I like that as a part of the game script anyway. So like the whole premise of these is like the books are setting these lines where they're taken into account. So it's not like you're going to catch them sleeping when a guy needs to get an incentive price or whatever it may be. It's just like you can take some and get involved in some, just make sure it's a part of like the actual game script that you already would like to take, which DeAndre Hopkins is one. And I would say Dalton Schultz is also another one that I would be fine to buy into, which plays into a touchdown score that's not him, but the reasoning for it with John Mechie. So I don't know about a lot of those on the bottom there. The sack ones, everybody loves Chris Jones too, which is like
is he even going to play?
I don't really know or think so.
Why would he
It's
play?
just like I don't know. I really don't know.
I guess for $1 million. But what you guys also have to understand is that a lot of these teams, it completely depends on the organization, how generous they're feeling. A lot of these organizations don't want to pay these guys these incentives, and they will tell the coach to not play them. We've seen it before. You'll see it again. Half these guys on this list.
The Bucs did that with Brady and Gronk and AB, but the only reason that they're overruled was because Tom Brady said, "Get the fuck out there."
Fuck
"Get the fuck out there, Gronk. I'm giving you 2 more catches." And same thing with AB. So it's just like,
and who's telling Tom Brady?
Yeah, nobody's telling Tom Brady. No, it's just like there's only so many of these that you can go with and say like the teams don't know, especially when you're talking about sacks, which is like you can't just be handed a sack. That's not really how it works. Like, yeah, sure, a guy's going to be going for a sack for an incentive just like he is on every single down because he's a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
That is
people be
quite
acting
literally
like
the
these
goal.
players don't try in any of the other 17 weeks. I don't understand.
The thing is, too, like a lot of these, there's a lot of guys that are in like crucial playoff games, too. So, like the Singletary one, what's the number for that, Goots? Go back up. Like 165 yards for 125K. I guess you go for the 74 total yards or whatever. But like talking about guys on the Texans, you got Levante David sacked down on there for the Bucks. Like these are a lot of guys that are in winning in games or games that are extremely meaningful on the last game of the season for playoff purposes. Like that's not where I would want to take my money for a team to go outside of the game script just to get somebody money when there's a playoff game on the line. So like, yeah, like you can take that one because it's the Colts defense, and I think they're going to get shredded anyway. It's just like, careful taking some of these.
What about Austin Eckler, who needs, I think, 100 more yards, 110 all-purpose yards, which is in his wheelhouse. It's not going to be easy with Easton Stick under center for the Chargers, but it's definitely possible, and the Chiefs have nothing to play for. The Chiefs' rush defense has been vulnerable this season, definitely way more than their pass defense, which is honestly almost elite at this point out of nowhere. But the Chargers, right, I feel like they're going to try to take care of their guy, Austin Eckler, here and get him the rock as much as possible, and they're minus 3.5 in this game. They're favorites. Someone's got to punch the football in. Someone's got to get the rock and do something, and I think it's going to be Eckler. Potentially.
Here's my thing with Eckler, because he's got a coaching staff that hasn't really been there for all season, like or in their roles for the entire season. So it doesn't feel like there's much, I don't know, loyalty there from like this has been my guy for the entire season. Like I've been the coach. Like there's no Brandon Staley there who, has been with Eckler for a while now. So it's not like the guys aren't internally a part of the organization, but feels like a situation where you have like a Mike Vrabel who's in a meaningless game this week, which he's not. When you had like Derrick Henry who needed an incentive, like that would be one thing. But with a whole new staff, I feel like there's just a lot going on there.
I agree. And they're probably already looking at the offseason, see where they're going on vacation. So I don't disagree. But Eckler is Mr. Charger. I feel like at this point, I always had a down year. Maybe they try to finish the season strong with him after there's been some doubts about is he still, in his prime.
I don't
know. He's a leader of the pay the RVs movement.
He's literally the leader of the pay the running backs movement. So, I mean, what would that do as an organization to say, we're going to feed you to get an incentive so you get paid more and your numbers look better, so then you have to get paid more and all the running backs have to get paid more? That, I mean, in my mind, just doesn't make sense.
There's probably an owners meeting going on right now with them all around a huddle, like in that South Park episode. The Goodell bots, and they're probably just literally talking about how they can save their coins and not pay these guys out. And the main target is probably Eckler because he's been open.
Main target, yeah. And that probably goes for all the running backs here too. Because like I don't know why they would force feed them and make all their numbers look better. So that kind of decreases their position on the pay the running backs movement as organization.
I guess we'll find out how petty these owners are.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Find out,
right? And I would not be shocked to find out that they're pretty fucking petty. Okay.
Probably.
At least coming from a Commanders fan here. All right. I've seen it before. Would not be shocked. Honestly, a good point, Javon. I'm off Eckler. Sure. I'm with you. He's also been moose shit all season. So,
yeah.
All right. Anything else on this list worth your time? Maybe some Schultz talk, but.
Yeah. I mean, I like Schultz just kind of as a look for that game anyway. So, I mean, not really for the purposes of the incentive necessarily, but I do like him this week.
Okay. Chat. Please be cautious betting these incentives. Keep them to one use. Okay. Nothing is guaranteed. And if anything, you might want to even fade some of these plays up here because of some of the stuff we talked about. So tread lightly with these incentives. Guys, I wish it was as easy as just finding out who needed a couple catches to get paid to hit your bets. But if it was that easy, Vegas wouldn't be as shiny as it is right now. Okay.
I have to bring this up before I forget about it because I've been talking about that game for a while. Florida's favorite against Kentucky at home.
Are they now?
They are. Just had to bring that up before I forget.
I'm in. W play for tomorrow. Love that, chat. We'll make sure we get these cheat sheets, get these Hail Mary, these 5 guys entries all out to you guys either late tonight or tomorrow. Okay, so stay posted. Always checking the book at BTL Twitter. And would you look at that? Looks like the Gators. Are they -1? That is insane.
They're hanging -1, but I see a little -1 flip to or from Kentucky on the other side on some other books. So it's probably coming here.
Okay. Either way, that's a hilarious line, and we got to be on the Gators.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Dubs, love it. Chats, if we do the stream tomorrow, we'll have plenty of time to craft up college basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah, holy total
if not,
too.
Yeah, geez,
see that total? Good Lord.
Huh. Okay. All right, let's move. Let's talk about some ATTS scores for this NFL weekend, Javon. I know you got a couple. Let me go over my two first, and then I want to let you run with this because you've been dialed with these. I like Dalton Schultz. Hilarious. We were just talking about him, and then you were talking about John Mechie. But I like Schultz in this matchup. I think he's got a pretty good look here against a Colts defense that has struggled to defend tight ends, especially in the red zone. Even guys like Kyle Pitts have been getting touchdowns against them recently. I think it'll be Schultz, who is – I thought his odds were weirdly short with him not scoring in over a month. I think he finds pay dirt. We know Stroud has, targeted Schultz in the red zone and end zone a lot more early on in the season. There's been some injuries recently. His team is all over the place right now. But when they need Dalton Schultz most, when CJ Stroud needs his reliable tight ends, I think he finds them in the red zone and he gets a touchdown this weekend at +150. I thought he'd be around +250.
Yeah, they're all very shorts. And
Yep.
I'll give you the framework of it because it's the reason why I'm on Mechie. So there's no obviously Tank Dell at this point. There's no Noah Brown either, who got ruled out. Robert Woods is coming into this game banged up. And then you're going to see a Colts team that plays a lot of zone coverage. And the one thing that I've said about this Texans wide receiving core, when they face a lot of zone coverage, they're very different because Tank Dell was their zone coverage guy against zone. And Nico Collins is one of the best by PFF grade or whatever you want to look at every single rating. He's really good against man coverage, not so much against zone coverage. So you used to be able to kind of flip the switch between Nico and Tank Dell. Now you can't really do that, but now they're seeing a lot of zone. It leaves two guys. It leaves Dalton Schultz and it leaves John Mechie. And John Mechie, a lot of the reason why the Colts have been bad at defending tight ends is because the tight ends that have burned them have been lined up in the slot as well. So like John Mechie is going to be seen a lot in the slot. So is Dalton Schultz on the other side. So I like both these guys to feast. And then when I see a square up when John Mechie has 0 career touchdowns and he's had a pretty disappointing year, not going to fault the guy because of, the obvious circumstances surrounding his comeback and everything. But he hasn't done much this season. And now he gets his opportunity, square up on PrizePicks. This screams a Chris Rodriguez Jr. square where he was up with 0 career touchdowns. And he came out with 2. So John Mechie is scoring a touchdown this weekend. Yeah.
Sure. WC Rod comp. Love to hear that. Gets the juices flowing. Hopefully C-Rod gets his 3rd touchdown of his career this weekend. B. Rob and Gibson don't deserve it.
Yep.
Not enough heart.
They don't.
Give it to C-Rod. He's the heart of that backfield. Straight up. Watch him run. The effort. He runs angry. He's tiny. He stinks. But he runs angry. He shows effort. All right. W's. What else you got? Or I got one more, actually, that I really like, and I already kind of hinted at it earlier. Derrick Henry, +100 to find pay dirt in his last game for the Titans. Might be the squarest thing to ever come out of my mouth. I don't care. Mike Vrabel will give Derrick Henry a touchdown carry, at least one, in his last game in a Titans uniform in front of his home crowd here. So give me the Titans, already done, +100, very short, and for good reason. In a game with a low total, he's pretty short. So Derrick Henry, King Henry, send-off tour. He gets a touchdown in front of his home crowd in his last game in a Titans uni.
He's got to, man. He just has to. It feels just so perfect. I mean, we think they're going to win the game. They got to do it with Derrick Henry, man. They have to do it.
Yes.
I'm going back to an old friend from a couple weeks ago. Because whenever there is a really interesting situation, which I guess we didn't talk about this game, but whenever there's an interesting situation personnel-wise for this team, there's always one guy who steps up. And it's not in the end zone all the time, but been able to pick out my spots for the last year or two pretty good with him. Going back to Greg Dortch, the Cardinals, which I like them in this game to pull a little upset, which would be disastrous for win total bettors because they're sitting at 4 wins. So if they win this game, they would go over their win total, and they're playing a very bad Seahawks defense that's gotten progressively more awful throughout the year. So there's a lot of guys that I thought about going to in this game. It was really between Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's more the short-term red zone guy who he got a touchdown last week. Greg Dortch, the touchdown that he did score and that took him against the Bears was crazy run after catch where he looked absolutely incredible. So I think it's going to be a big splash play from him over the top of that secondary. It's just gotten burnt time and time again, especially when I like that the Seahawks run defense is awful. So James Conner is going to get a solid bit of work. And when that happens and they have a really good matchup, that's a play action deep shot waiting to happen after they collapse down on the run after a handful of times. So like, I don't know if Michael Wilson's necessarily that guy for the play action deep shot. It's more like a Greg Dortch, Rondale Moore type thing, which Rondale Moore is also up. And that square looks awfully weird too. But he's just been disappointing. So I'm going with Greg Dortch.
Yeah, I almost took the over in this game. I almost took the square over. Seeing that total move up, one of the only few totals actually moving upwards. I think there'll be plenty of points from both sides in this game, but especially Arizona, and they're definitely a live dog here too. Seattle stinks. And Arizona's building a little bit of momentum right now to end the season, and I know Kyler wants to go out on top with another big upset to end the year after beating the Eagles last week. So I'm with it. All right. Like the Dortch, sure, chat. Love to see it. Did they already go over meat on tape plays? Yes, I'm on the Titans plus 3.5 for my meat on tape. Javon has Atlanta and New Orleans over 42 for his meat on tape plays.
Yes.
W's.
And
Y'all have a Hail Mary. We will tonight.
We'll
All
be
right.
crafting it tonight. I have to say this because there's no price out for a couple of these games yet for TD scores because of the whole backup situation. But you know who I really want to take this week? He's getting a start. I want to take Carson Wentz anytime touchdown. I just want to do it.
You want to take Carson Wentz to utilize his chicken legs and run and break tackles and go into the end zone?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. I want $1 million and a yacht and unlimited promo.
Hey, once I see a price, I'm taking it. Because Carson Wentz against that Niners team that's in a really weird spot. Like I don't think he's gonna go out and have a masterclass or anything, but
there's no way you just
I do think he's gonna come out and just have maybe that one drive where he looks ridiculously good. And these games where they have these quarterbacks that are washed playing in this, they always want to show out. He wants to play for an opportunity, maybe somewhere else.
Now you're starting to sound like those incentive guys, though. Remember, every single player tries their hardest every game because they're in the NFL and they get paid a lot of money to do it. Remember?
I know. Okay. But I know he wants to show that he can still do it in multiple ways, which includes his legs, which is going to be very cautious because that's how he tore his ACL the first time. But I think he's going to run one in against this Niners defense.
Okay. I would love to see that slip. I'm slipping Javon right now, chat.
Once it drops, I will have that slip in your text in 2 seconds.
Okay, good. That will make my fucking day. You are a lunatic, and if I see a slip, you know what? Fuck it, I might join you. Carson Wentz, Commanders legend. Sure.
You have to.
We got Talano resubbing 13 months, putting 13 U's on the squad ride today. Whoa, lock it. Okay, Talano. Sure. I'm not going to recommend that, but Talano. It's your money, it's your life, brother, and we're going to work our butts off to find you a winner, okay? Met Carson Wentz at an AutoZone in India a month or so ago. Nice guy. I bet he is a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. He seems like a great dude. I mean, it's not the best
I got
quarterback.
No qualms with him.
Yeah, it's a great dude.
He's a good dude. He's a big religious guy. He gets a lot of qualms with those hunting pictures he throws up there. A lot of people don't like those pics.
Yeah.
All the PETA people. He's got like crazy pics up on his Insta with him like taking down these crazy animals. That's not my thing. But for Carson Wentz, I guess it is. I don't fucking know. Maybe he should be less locked into hunting and more locked into finding out schemes on defense. That could have been the issue, folks.
Could be.
That could have been the issue.
Could be.
Tyler Hundley coming in, Torch and Pitt, 199.5. Whoa.
Back up.
Goots.
Yes.
Thoughts, Goots?
I mean, I wouldn't take it. But, I mean, people do forget that he almost beat Joe Burrow in a playoff game last year if he didn't fumble.
People do forget that.
People do forget that. So
I got no qualms with Hundley. I'm a Hundley guy. I want Hundley to come over to DC and run our offense.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's not a bad backup. No. He's a good guy to have on your team. So, I mean, I could see him. This is the Demon Square. So, I mean, he has another one Demon Square right here.
Okay.
There it is. So, okay.
I can see him going for this. 162. I mean,
I thought his base was at 199. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's just a one.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So let me know if you get any meat on tape squares for that game. No rush.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dubs.
Dude, you know what? I just looking at it because they just put up a couple of new weird touchdown squares up.
Oh.
You know who's also up for a touchdown with 0 scored on the season, which I think he might have been up for this another time, but it was like injury insurance in case Kamara didn't play. Jamal Williams on the board. And that would perfectly fit the script of just absolute madness and nothing you would expect from that game. And Kamara, to be honest with you, he started out looking pretty solid against the Bucs, and then he took a hit and didn't really get much burn the rest of the game. Like Jamal Williams got a lot of snaps, so like I know this is a game that's a potential win and get in for the Saints. So they're not going to be like super conservative with Kamara usage, but that feels awfully strange to be offered. And maybe I know he hasn't practiced a lot this week, but for that to be up instantly it's definitely interesting.
Okay. Jamal Williams. Just when you think he's gone, just when you think he's not going to score a touchdown every single fucking game of an entire season and then go over the next year, he leaves his mark and he gets a tutty. Looks like Kamara's been out all week, not practicing. So, okay. Could be Jamal's show.
He sneakily got 19 carries last week, which is crazy.
Jesus.
Crazy to think about.
They're feeding him. Feed the beast.
Kamara.
We know he's a gold line stud, right? Give him the rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a demon square too?
Yeah, it's a demon square.
Let's fucking go. Okay. I'm in. Cream Fresh might just take Jamal to score twice. That could be a value play. Okay. Respect. I'll probably just take him once because that's enough stress for me. But love it. W's. Javon, unless you have any other ATTSs that you need to get out, so I say we pivot to some CBB talk.
Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome. Not that many games today, chat. It ain't much, but it's honest work, and we're going to go over them. Okay. The game of the day has to be Butler and UConn, and you guys know what I'm on. Give me Butler against UConn here. Javon, you talked about wanting to fade UConn down the stretch. Are you taking a little stab here at the Butler Bulldogs, who are 10-4? They're playing okay, and they're only getting a couple points at home here against the best team or one of the best teams in the country.
I want to, but I don't know if I can do it. I'm not going to lie. This is like I liked the read on Lafayette yesterday until I came in and I was like, they're undefeated at home in like 20 games or whatever it was. And not the Butlers in the same kind of boat, but they have been really, really good at home this season so far, which is giving me a little hesitation. So maybe the fade UConn game for me will be this week or middle of next week when they play Xavier on the road. I don't know if I can get to it with Butler, but I'm interested to hear if you can convince me.
Okay. Yeah, I like Butler here. I mean, I love this spot for the Bulldogs here. I mean, UConn, look, I wanted to fade this team almost every game without clinging. I think they're a shell of themselves, to be completely honest with you. And this UConn team has been overperforming out the wazoo this season. I didn't think they could get any better than last year, and they found a way to do it. They've been an absolute machine. For a UConn team that just won a natty, to be in the green ATS the following season is an anomaly. Nothing that I would have ever expected because the books just got absolutely cooked on UConn all last season. The public's piling in on them after they win a championship, and they're still covering and they're still winning. And then you go over and look at what Butler's been doing, Javon. They haven't covered since World War II, brother. They haven't covered a game in almost a month and a half. It's crazy. And they're coming off of 2 bad losses. 2 games they probably shouldn't have won, but they could have against Providence and St. John's. So I like this spot for Butler, coming off of 2 losses and not covering in over a month. And I want to start fading UConn now. So if you're not in, I understand. I'll bet it for you tonight, though.
Yeah, I can respect it.
Dude, this Butler team, like, they've got some good fucking players on this team. Like, they do. They can score. Telford, Brooks, Davis, they got Posh. Like, they got bodies. They'll be okay. They can hang. All right. Very curious to see how much this screen guy plays. The big 7-foot guy from Alexandria right down the street from me. Very curious to see how he does tonight with no clinging. Maybe he goes off. Maybe he's a difference maker here. Specs, Andre Green, the 7'1" senior for Butler. Let's see if he can leave his legacy tonight. Let's see if he can leave.
Oh, yeah. Mikey's a DJ Davis slurper.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see. He's going to be playing a team with the flu. See if he can go.
Wait, UConn has the flu?
It's rumors, yeah.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
I don't love that. You had to wait till the end to throw that one in there? You couldn't have saved me some time?
Frankie Collins was sick last night and he went off. So
yeah,
I bet he was.
It's not like it matters all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sick at Arizona State. How about that? How about that one, Goots? I'm sick of them costing me coins. I'm sick of them looking at my tweets. How about that? Fairfield wins today. Chat's saying I disagree. And we'll talk about that here in a second. I'll still be on Butler today. It's a must play today. That spread short. I'm going to back them at home to keep it close with no Klingon for UConn. I'm going to take them. Not sneak uniting them. Not betting more than one unit on them. Javon gatekeeping the flu. Can't believe it, man.
Crazy.
He won't even tell. He brings it up and then he can't even confirm it. Okay. He's gatekeeping that.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. Decently confirmed. I mean, like Bobby Hurley said it himself, but I don't know what that means. He said it was like going through the team like yesterday. So I don't know the status of that or anything. I'm not here to Dr. Oz and anything, but who knows?
Minor cold and flu sicknesses spreading around, but they'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, if any of those guys end up not playing, I probably won't bet Butler, but from what I'm reading right now, I don't think it's anything that drastic, and they should be all good to go. But TBD, we're going to wait to deploy on that one until we know who's playing, okay? Miami, Toledo. You got anything in this game, Javon?
Nothing there, but the next game, I see you got to play, and I can 100% get down with it.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, give me Siena. These boys, they're too talented to be as bad as they are right now, Javon. It's honestly kind of embarrassing that this team is sitting at 2-11 at this point, but they played some solid squads early on. But now it's time to cut the shit and dive into conference play. And we've seen a lot of teams. We saw some yesterday who have atrocious records from before conference play, hopping into conference play for their debut last night, and then getting a big-time win, cough, cough, Eastern Kentucky, which ended up being one of my favorite plays of the day and one of the best plays of the day. Similar spot here for Siena's. Okay, this team is more talented, in my opinion, than Fairfield. They played tougher teams at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to defend them and say they played great so far, but they've got some bodies on this team. They've got Dewar Gordon, who's averaging almost 24 points per game at this point for Siena. He will be by far the best player on the court, and I want to fade this Fairfield team that's been cracked out of their minds, sitting over 500, shockingly, and they've won a bazillion games in a row. I think they've won 6 games in a row. Look at what Siena's been doing. I think they've lost 6 games in a row as well, maybe more. It's been a bad month and a half for Siena. Absolutely atrocious. And I want to take a stab at them with that line getting almost cut in half, Javon, with them moving from +8 to +4.5 now at home. You take everything before the conference play with teams like this, you throw it out the fucking window, and you back the nasty dog who's getting their odds cut in half here. Give me Siena's.
Yeah, not just the nasty dog, but they're, like our man's saying in here, 2 very different paths for these teams right now. And pretty obviously, Fairfield's starting to play really, really well going into conference play. Siena is on quite the opposite track. And we see the line fall, 3 points from 7.5 in the opener. Siena at home, and Siena's only covered 1 game at home this year out of, I think, the 4 or 5 they've played. Screaming that something's going on here. And I think there's like a basketball brain part of it too. I think Siena's a little more physical and a little bigger, I guess you could say, on every level than Fairfield is. So I think they're going to grind it out and make this game tough for them on the road here. So I'm certainly down for Siena plus the points.
Yeah, we're going to need Emo Juro to be an absolute behemoth in the paint tonight and look like Shaq. Okay, the sophomore from England. We're going to need him to absolutely tweak. Coming over from guess where, Javon? You want to take a guess at where this kid transferred over from last season?
Where?
I'll give you a hint. I own the nastiest jersey ever created for their team that I bought a couple weeks ago.
No way he's a Sam Houstonite.
But that's how we know he's got heart and grit. Okay, he's coming over. He's going to be running the paint. Goots.
Wow.
No, Goots. No Brad Cornelson up there today. Okay, not after Perez, what he did last night. Can't take it. Yeah, give me Siena's. They might even close a shorter dog than they are right now. So I grab this puppy and run. All right. My roommate is in college. His dad is Steve Forbes, the head coach of Wake. He said they are about to do unspeakable things tomorrow to Miami. Huh. I'm sure Javon could get behind that.
I agree.
All right.
I've been waiting for that line to come out for a bit now. I don't see it yet, but
sure.
I would love
and we'll
to
get you guys right with a cheat sheet too.
Plays.
Okay. We'll get a cheat sheet out there for the people, Javon. With plenty of college basketball, some NFL as well tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. What else we got in college basketball? Oh, would you look at that? Canisius in the Mount play tonight. Love that. Some conference play starting up for the MAC. MAAC. Okay, don't get it twisted. Not the Mac, the Mac. Give me the under in this game, Javon. Under 145.5 between these two teams who have been scoring way more points than I projected or even expected, I guess would be the better way to say it, before the season. I don't believe in these offenses. The Mounts, notoriously with their coach who just renewed, very slow team, but this season they played a lot of teams with quicker paces, quicker tempos to start the year, and it sped them up. And they don't have one of the slower tempos typically, but I think that's kind of an anomaly and fraudulent a little bit. Now they're going to get into conference play tonight with a home game. I think the Mount plays their type of basketball, defensive-minded, slow, and jacking threes. That's what the Mount does well. They're probably not going to make a lot of them in their home conference debut here tonight against Canisius, and we know Canisius can't score. I mean, that team is absolutely terrible, but they're big and athletic, and I think they're going to give the Mount some problems today. Give me the under 145.5 in this game between two MAC studs.
Yeah, I mean, Canisius, they play to the tempo of their opponent, and that's been kind of the story for a couple of years.
Good thing tonight, Dan.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great thing tonight, and they really haven't had many chances to do that this season other than maybe, I don't know, they played St. Peter's in the game that was like 50-50, but other than that, they played a lot of teams that like to run. So, like, now you're not necessarily going to get that from the Mounts, which is fine, and that total dropping, I think, tells you all you need to know. So I'm with it.
Sure. W's. Hate to fade the Mounts offense, but let's hope they can sneak out a nice win there at home to start out conference play.
Ooh,
come on, Mount.
You see this, Krabs?
Mississippi State only a 1.5 point favorite. May I interest you in some South Carolinas tomorrow?
I don't know. But I mean, both of those teams have been pretty hot.
I don't know, man. I don't like that South Carolina team. I don't believe in them. I've watched them play. Sure, they got Big Mac. Sure, they got some shooters. But they stink.
Yeah.
They stink. Gosh, man, they're only getting 1.5 points tomorrow. Are you kidding me? That's so bad. I need to see it with my own eyeballs.
I mean, I don't know. That could also just be a 12-1 South Carolina team who's a point underdog at home.
Mm. So you're even saying it might be weird that Mississippi State's getting that respect to be a favorite at home or on the road here in the spot.
Could be. I mean, yeah. Huh. It's a weird spot for sure.
Yep. I probably won't be betting that game because I do think it's maybe a little bit short, but I'm not betting South Carolina's because I think they're fraudulent.
You gonna bet this though?
LeBron James, Caitlin Clark combo square. Yes, give me the less than. Hurry up, go. Need it. I will be locking that puppy in ASAP. Okay. You can expect that chat in some sort of entry later today. All right. There it is. Sure. That should hit, right? Right, chat? That should hit. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I wish squares like that hit, It'd be so easy. It really would be. But they don't. That's a lot of fucking points. Yes, it is.
It's a lot of points.
But if there's one thing I've learned about Caitlin Clark, it's that she doesn't give a heck what's sharp or what's not. She just puts up buckets. She's unbelievable.
She does.
Unbelievable. Krabs hates fun so much. I've heard that before. People have told me that before. I like my own type of fun. And that's hitting bets and fading Caitlin Clark. W's. All right, let's move. Let's groove, Javon. We got a couple more CBB games here. Anything in Iona or the Niagara game?
Yeah, not much in the MAC for me today.
Okay, sure. Ryder, Quinnipiac. I lean Ryder. I don't love anything in that spot, though. Let's talk about Illinois and Purdue. Javon, that spread's kind of fat, huh? A little fatter than I expected.
Kind of fat. Definitely fatter than I expected.
I think Purdue rolls today. I do. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but I definitely lean Purdue at home there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to. It's like it's going to be a one-on-one for Illinois pretty much the entire game because Domas is going to have to go off. I think he's the only matchup that they have well there. So, I mean, I kind of was optimistic about them coming into this spot, and I still, in the plums, I kind of am because it seems like not many people are giving them a chance today, and I might have to be the guy. But if Domas can drop in 30 against his former teammate at SIU, I don't know what the plan offensively is going to have to be for Illinois.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy one bet. Okay.
Yeah,
that spread's fat, and it's making me want to take Purdue. Not going to lie, chat. What about Akron's? You like Akron's today against Bowling Green?
I do like Akron today against Bowling Green.
What do you like about that?
Bowling Green, are you familiar with the little run that they've been on lately?
Yeah, with their new coach. Love to see it.
I mean, they look fantastic. I think they've won 9 games in a row coming into this game against Akron. They're a
I didn't
little.
know they won 9 games in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah, 9 games in a row, which, I mean, haven't played the toughest competition. There's a lot of. I think there's a couple non-D1 teams in there, and really just bottom tier D1 competition. But I mean, they've played really, really well. And I think they're a little shorthanded coming into this game, missing, I believe, their 4, which means a lot because you know who plays for Akron that's going to absolutely dominate today on the inside? Enrique. He's going to go stupid today. So, like, that's a main source of dominance there in this little matchup. But it's also, like, I look at the line, 9.5 for a team that's on the streak they are. Yes, they haven't played the greatest foreign competition, but now you're going on the road against an Akron team who's going to dominate from the inside out. I don't see a point of return there for Bowling Green. So I think this is their little return to normalcy in this game. And Akron, who's been starting to play a lot better themselves, I think they dominate in this game.
Okay. Yep, Akron, we know they like to defend their home floor. Another really good home team, 5-0 this season at home. They just play different at home, and they'll get another chance tonight to end Bowling Green's crazy win streak. Bowling Green is definitely on the come up. I like their new coach. I talked a little bit about this team with the Mid-Major Madness accounts a couple weeks ago, and they're definitely on the rise, but they really couldn't get much worse than they were last year. Good spot to fade, though, and the spread is large for a reason, just like Purdue. I'm with you. Give me Akron's. Dubs, and no squares up right now for Akron, too. I just checked. But if those end up going up
I was
later,
looking. If Enrique Freeman comes up at any point, I don't care what the number is. He's going over it.
Yep, and we'll have to take that. Any late night Boise State, San Jose State looks? I thought that was some serious respect on the Broncos, opening up -6 on the road there with how meh they've looked all season. But maybe that's just some respect from last year. What do you think?
Yeah, kind of thought so too. Okay. I don't know. The valuation of Boise State is weird on like a game-to-game basis, and I guess San Jose State's not really much different. So I stayed away here. Like on paper, it kind of screams under, I would say, but the total's rising. So maybe we see points, which would play a little bit into San Jose State's hands, I would say.
I will say we've seen a lot of these insanely low totals that open up rarely at like 113. I saw one out the other day, or 119. I've seen all these low totals. All of them have been moving up this season. I've never seen it before. I've never seen the movement like this before. Maybe it's just more people betting overs. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know. But I really have not seen a lot of these low totals like we saw typically a couple of years ago with UVA, when every game they played in would have a 120 total or lower. They would always open up that low and then they would move down and they'd be sharp. Now we're seeing all these totals move up. Maybe it's just because there's been way more points in college basketball this season. We've seen less of an emphasis on defense. That's probably because a lot of these guys are trying to make a name for themselves, potentially trying to transfer to a Power 5 school in the mid-majors. And you're not going to probably do that or make people notice you by playing defense typically. You're going to have to do that with putting up some points and filling up the stat sheet. So that's probably why we're seeing college basketball, just more overs and more points recently this season. I'd just be a little worrisome on backing unders overall this year. We've just seen more points. But by now, the books should be adjusted. But definitely worth something to note about those totals that are low in college basketball that are all moving up this year. Weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a little strange.
Dead Larry Bird in chat. I love college basketball, but these games blow. Yeah, the slate stinks today. That's why we spent a lot of time on NFL. You're 100% right. Could not have said it any better than me. Okay. Yeah. Dubs. I got nothing in Boise, San Jose State. I'll be honest, though. I'm sticking with my initial inkling here. I lean Boise, who are opening up -6. I thought that was a pretty fat spread with how mid they've looked this season. But again, probably not going to get to the counter with that one. Just a lean for the late nights. And that could just be some leftover respect from last season's pretty good Boise team.
Yeah.
Any team that's got the coach's son getting big minutes, I'm not in a rush to bet him. I'm not. Boise State, Max Rice, he's not looked too sharp this year either. I'm not about that. I'm not about the handouts. And I'm not about Max Rice and how he's looked this season. Not too great. Boise needs to pick it up. They do. All right. Any NBA or NHL plays you want to go over? We got about 10, 15-ish minutes.
Do you have one of each? Can start on the ice. I like the over in the Jets-Ducks game, which I am really, really hoping that Lucas Dostal gets announced for the Ducks, which I don't know if you're familiar with Dostal, what he just did against the Leafs, which they lost this game in overtime, but he has had like 55 saves. Probably one of the greatest performances by a Ducks goalie ever. But regardless, whether it's him or Neza Bingaby or whoever comes out in net for the Ducks, it's really on the other side. Like, I want to fade the Jets off a back-to-back. They just played a low-scoring game yesterday against the Sharks, which – that game was super weird from the start, but not much offense, low event hockey there until like middle second period for a stretch to the start of the third period. Now you're on a back-to-back. The Ducks are coming off of that performance. That was pretty disappointing, but another low-scoring game. So I think this is quite the opposite here for both these teams. Again, would love if Dostal got a net, but on the other side, you have Laurent Brossoit, who is the Jets' backup goalie in nets, and he's been really good at home, not so much on the road. And on the road, he's faced a lot of teams who don't really rip puck. Like he's played the Sharks, he's played the Wild, like very favorable matchups, and he still really hasn't been that good. So not that the Ducks are really a team that rips a ton of puck, but I think today with a team off a back-to-back whose backbone is being super strong defensively, they might risk some shots on them today, which is pretty worrisome if you're a Jets fan or backer. So I think this game gets really weird with a lot of early goals, and I like the over 6.
Okay.
Then NBA, I like the Magic.
Ooh.
It's kind of hard to not fade the Nuggets after last night's performance and the crazy comeback. The Warriors, I don't know how they choked that game, and then the Jokic buzzer beater was absolutely crazy. And the Magic, they did beat them earlier in the season, which is the lone concern, but they've come down to earth a little bit. Like they're on their little road trip here, I think, for 3 or 4 games. That's been disastrous. I guess 3 games lost to the Suns, Warriors, and Kings the last 3 games. So this is the last game of a road trip where I really don't love to back teams with a team in the Nuggets on a back-to-back off of an improbable comeback. I will put my money on the Magic to go on the road, where they haven't really done it that much all season, to keep this one within 9, which is the goal. So I like the Magic.
Okay. Nasty bet. Plug your nose, close your eyes, and lock it in. Got to fade Denver after last night. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't love anything in the NBA. The only looks I really had were potentially maybe trying to back Memphis on the road against the Lakers, but I know everyone in chat was saying how bad LeBron and the Lakers played their last game. They're coming off of 2 bad losses, so I'm not really sprinting to the books to bet Memphis tonight, but I definitely lean that way on the road. Some weird squares. We got one right up here, sure, for Sengun. A couple others in chat that people were talking about. Domantas Sabonis. Definitely said that wrong, but Sabonis, absolute beast. Javon, he's been a rebound machine the last 3 games, 21, 19, and 23 in the last 3 games, and he's at 13.5 rebounds. I think I saw Bert in chat talking about that square. Any opinions on Sabonis rebounds going against Toronto tonight? I mean, how much higher can they put the square up? When I get him at 15.5 rebounds, he's
you can't really go much higher. So I mean,
right?
I don't know what you're gonna do other than like Andre Drummond the last couple of games. I don't know if I've seen anybody with higher rebound lines, so I don't really know what to do with that one. But
okay,
yeah, I'm sticking to Marcus Strart.
Okay.
Yeah, Strus. I saw some Strus weird squares as well.
Strus assists. Our guy Odds on the States in chat is saying that the over on the books is minus 138. That makes me want to take that. I'll tell you that much.
He's coming off of a legacy game too.
I like the Suns tonight. Dude.
Trent, man.
What are we doing? 18. Get him out of here, dudes.
Yeah,
get him out.
Lurking.
What are we doing?
You're lurking in queue. Unreal.
That's weird. All right. We're back. Max Strus. More than 3.5 assists. Add that to my card. Boop. I'm in. And that song was a banger, too. I kind of wish that played out. 18. All right.
Yeah.
Any other squares, any other plays you want to let the people know about? So maybe reiterate your POD today and let the people know what you're doing if they're not hip.
Yeah, I can reiterate the Marcus Smart POD, which go ahead and put that square up. I mean, he's been pitiful from the field, which is why it is as red as it is in the last 3 games where he's made not a single 3, but hasn't really been because he's not shooting them. He is 0 for 5, 0 for 4, 0 for 4 in those 3 games there. And now, I mean, the basketball context to it, the Lakers are a horrendous 3-point defense. So Marcus Smart is certainly going to have the same opportunities, but a little better of a matchup than, the Raptors, Spurs, and Kings kind of proved themselves to be. So squares up for a reason. It's also not just up, but it's minus 130 to the over, which is also pretty weird when you think about it. So I'll be rocking with Marcus Smart today. He has a couple of squares up that all look pretty weird, and when you see that in in conjunction with the 3 square. It's one you just got to take.
Okay. Say no more. I'm in. Marcus Smart, more than 1.5 3-pointers made. He's about to look like Ray Allen's out there in the corner. Love it.
Yeah.
Do you like the Memphis Grizzlies then on the spread?
A little bit. I would love it if it wasn't a pretty tough look for the Lakers last time out against the Heat, which I was debating because it was I think it was the same spread. The Heat were also like +4, +4.5 in that game, somewhere close. So feels maybe a little easier than that. So I was kind of looking to fade one of those 2 angles, which my favorite or more the one that I like the more would probably be fading the Heat on the road against the Suns when they're also at that same line too. So that would be probably what I would lean more so than taking the Lakers today, but same sentiment.
Okay. The Suns to stay hot against your Heat. All right.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, chat. It's about that time. We got about 5 minutes left. Cut the shit. Goots. I want to see that train. Like I said earlier, chats, we will get you guys out the Hail Mary, the 5 guys entry, the weekend cheat sheets later tonight or tomorrow at the latest. So please, please, please check out the Book It Sports Twitter account this weekend. And also, like I said earlier, definitely want to run a stream this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. So if you missed out in the beginning, I tweeted out a poll a couple hours ago. Go vote on that. Okay, go vote on the poll if you want the stream to be on Saturday or Sunday. I have no preference. You guys pick. Right now, Saturday's winning that. But go check that tweet out, okay? And we're going to move and groove. W's. Javon,
Sure.
We got some best bets below here. We got some good options on a day with not that many games. Let's see what we can craft up here, and let's see if we can get the people a squad ride winner to get the weekend started off right. Why not us?
Sure.
Right? Why not us? I like Sienna's a lot. I think we should put them in there.
Yeah, I really like Sienna.
Butler in
I'm right there
there.
with you.
I'd like to put Butler in there, but if you're sketched, we can leave them out for now and come back.
I'm very sketched, but if you say it's going to hit, I will shut up and you can put it in the poll and people can vote.
It's hidden. That's
Okay.
my favorite play today. It's hidden.
Put it on.
Give me Butler. Butler. What are they getting right now? 5 points? Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Dubs. As we get a Dub Television follow. Love to see that. Dub Television. Thanks for the follow. If you guys are in here for the first time, please drop a follow. Share the live with your buddies in your gambling group chat. All right. Get the weekend started off right. Javon, you got 3 plays that I can get behind down there in your best bet sector. What do you want to put in?
Say my favorite play is probably the Magic.
Good.
To be honest with you.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Magic plus 9.5. Akron I liked. Let me go look at that hockey play again one more time if you want to try to sell it on me in a quick one-liner. But you like that over in Anaheim and Winnipeg?
I would say that's probably my least favorite out of the 3, only because I don't know who's in net yet for the Ducks. Not a significant difference, but I would love it a lot more if Dostal was in net. So I would say I'd take Akron over that over.
Okay, and I'm good with Akron.
Yeah.
Akron minus 9.5. That spread is hilarious. And there's got to be one more CBB play.
And yes, in chat, I've seen this 500 times. I am aware that half of the Magic are out tonight. That's kind of how you bet the NBA.
Good. Buy the bad news, chat. Grow up. We got Luke Bradley coming in with a subby. What's up, Luke? W's. Javon, we got some options here for one last play. We could go Purdue. We could go the Mount Under. We could go what else is there in the NBA? Potentially Memphis Grizzlies. Any of those plays looking at you funny? Maybe Chad's got a play for us that they like. Chad, drop your favorite play of the day. Let's see what you guys are betting. Let's see if we can throw one of your options in the squad ride vote. Mount Under, I'm seeing. Okay. Will Levis officially ruled out. That's fine. Might be better. Goots POD is Purdue. Ooh. Goots POD is Purdue. Javon, any qualms with Purdue? You don't want to get involved with Purdue, do you?
I really don't, but
it's
not. I don't have like a strong argument against it either.
All right. We'll leave it out. I also like the Suns. We could go, I say we either go Suns or we go your hockey over.
Say Suns.
Okay. W's. Fade Javon squad. Sheesh. All right. Phoenix minus 3.5. Dubs. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. You have 2 minutes to get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. 5 plays, 5 winners. Sienna plus 4.5. Butler plus 5. We've got the Magic plus 9.5. Akron minus 9.5. And the Suns minus 3.5. 5 plays, 5 winners. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. We only have 1 more minute. Lock in. Click the right button. As I always say, please click the right button. All right, chat, let's get this Friday and the weekend started off right with a squad ride dub. Why not us? Okay. As we get a spade subby, let's go, Javon.
Let's go spades.
Sure. I didn't see a Lembong sighting in chat today. A little disappointed. No Lembong today, but I did see Ron earlier. Ron giving out a subby, as always. Love to see that, Ron. Might have to dust off Lembong this weekend, Javon, and see if we can get him loose and get him out there in the rack.
That's why he's not in chat, man. He's in the lab. He's in the.
He could be in the lab.
He's putting up shots.
Could be getting more tattoos. He's got a lot of those. Remember?
Could be doing that too. Unlike Yapton.
Chad, I bought too much VC and I spent $100K of it on tattoos. Arrest me.
That's
okay.
This is criminal.
I know it is. Get those votes in. Hurry up. Get Lembong up and moving. We will this weekend, Lembong, I promise. Okay. Either Saturday or Sunday. Go vote on that poll on our Book It's BTL Twitter accounts. And it's looking like it's going to be the Magic, unless we get any late life from Sienna here, chat. Yeah, Jelly's got the Magic in me. That's a banger for BOB. People forget BOB had like 5 absolute bangers.
Dude, people got to put some respect on the BOB run and the Kid Ink run.
Airplanes, that song would give me the chills.
It's classic.
Airplanes Part 2. People sleep on Part 2. Could be better than Part 1. All right. We got to end the show. We got to pass it off the baton to Trent for the third stream here. And it's looking like we're going with the Magic tonight. The NBA, the Association for the Squad Ride, Javon. I could get down with it. I got no qualms with that. All right. Chad's trusting you with that play, and I'm in as well. Give me the Magic with their whole team out. They get it done, and they keep it within 10. Chat, make sure you guys stick around for the third stream and check out Book It BTL on Twitter for your Hail Mary, your 5 guys, your weekend cheat sheets, the whole shebang. All right, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place next week. We'll be seeing. Peace.
Sure.
Weekend stream